Today, we're going to be talking about the reasons why we get angry, understanding the effect it has on us, and how we can handle anger in a healthier way. Are you ready to transform anger into empowerment? Welcome to Master Your Mindset, Master Your Life. This is a podcast that empowers you to start taking back control of your life, to start unlocking your full potential and get you out of the current monotonous routine that you are in. I'm Sanj, and today we're diving headfirst into a topic that we've all experienced. It affects us all, and that is anger. So tell me, how often do you find yourself angry, seething with rage, wondering why it happened, and then after the experience, you're wondering how you can deal with it more effectively, more efficiently? Anger is like a fiery dragon that occasionally awakes within us when prodded enough. And we want the secret to understand how we can tame this dragon, how we can get it under control. And then once it is tamed, it can actually lead to personal growth and healthier relationships. There are 5 different types of anger that we can categorize it in. And we all know people who deal with it in different ways. There are people who are aggressive, they're confrontational. It's like they're ready to start a fight, whether physically or verbally. We all know that kind of person. We've all met that kind of person. Then you'll get the opposite side, the passive anger, which is avoidance. They'll do everything they can to avoid any form of confrontation. They'll try and push down their feelings. This may be you because you don't want to see that confrontation. Then thirdly, the third type of anger is passive aggressive anger. And this is where you get that person who's not in your face confrontational about it, and they won't avoid it, but what they'll do is they'll just give those little snide comments, just act in a way which shows that they're angry, but they're not willing to get in your face about it. The fourth type of anger is a bit different. This is projective anger, and this is where you actually get others to be angry for you. So, for example, it's like you coming home, you being in a bad mood, and say your partner picking up on this, picking up on your bad mood, and actually being angry at, say, the kids for making mess, or being angry at something just so you don't have to feel that anger. The fifth and most healthy form of anger is assertive anger. And this is you feeling the anger that's within, you letting it out, but you're also letting it out in a controlled manner. You're not blowing your top, you're not ignoring it, you're facing the fact that you're angry head on, and you're actually allowing yourself to feel those feelings. And at the same time, you're letting it out, you're letting others know that you are angry, but you're doing it in a way which is positive, which is respectful, and which doesn't leave the other person feeling hurt or injured, or any way which can leave them feeling negative. So, what effect does anger actually have on us? Well, we all know that anger is never a good thing. It can lead to so many health implications. And 2 of the big things that it will affect is, one, your health, as I said, and the second is relationships. So when you hold on to anger, it's actually taking a toll on you physically and mentally. It's associated with an increase in heart disease, in strokes, in blood pressure, and actually can even cause depression. So physically, it's actually affecting your body. It's manifesting in negative ways within your body, and mentally as well, because holding on to that anger, it takes energy, it takes time, and it actually starts to hurt you mentally. It's like holding on to a jug of water for too long. The longer you hold it, the heavier it becomes, and the more it weighs you down. So when you're holding on to that anger, it can affect your health in significant ways. The second thing is it can actually strain your relationships. And the problem is when you are angry, your emotion is high, so your logic is low. I've said it before, but when you are in that state of emotion, when you are feeling that emotional, those ups, those downs, what happens is your logic, your reasoning is low. So you will say things and you will take actions that you wouldn't normally take, which normally can lead to then hurt feelings. It can lead to conflict. It can lead to damaged relationships. So when you are in a state of anger, when you do feel your emotions running high, it's always good to keep them in check, to take that time, to let them come down so your logic can start to take over, so you can deal with it in a more sensible and more forgiving way, in a way which will not burn bridges. So, I've talked about what impact that anger can have on ourselves, but also let's talk about some of the reasons behind our anger. And the number one reason is frustration. When things don't go our way, it can lead to a surge of anger because we want things to go in a certain way. We expect things to go in a certain way. And when it doesn't, then we feel uncomfortable. We don't like it. We want things to go the way we planned because then in our mind, we're comfortable with it. We know how to take the next step, what to move on to. So that's the number one reason, frustration. Another reason is injustice. When we feel like we've been treated unfairly, it can cause us to be angry. And this isn't just in ourselves, it's also been shown in tests with monkeys where they perceive injustice and they don't like it. They want to be treated fair. And we don't think it's unreasonable to be treated fairly. But at the same time, what's fair for one person may not be fair for another. And so that's where we perceive this injustice, where some person gets something which you believe you're entitled to, but other people think otherwise. And the third reason is stress. Stress is the silent partner of anger. And when we're under a lot of pressure or facing overwhelming situations, it means that our anger response can be triggered quickly. It can be triggered easily. And that is when most people will just can fly off the handle. That's when most people will find that actually their anger levels are higher than normal. It's well known, it's well documented. But if you want to improve your life, you want to change these situations so where you are able to control your stress, where you are able to control your anger, not just for yourself, but to help for your relationships, to help for your career, and to help you in every sense of the way, where you can control it for your health and your mindset and your mental health. What you can do is the first thing I recommend is recognize the triggers. When you can identify what causes you to get angry, to fly off the handle, that builds that feeling inside your stomach where you know you're going to get angry, you're going to start shouting and reacting. When you start to recognize the triggers, you can be proactive and to address them, to avoid them. And if you want to start recognizing the triggers, one thing you can do is to grab a pen and paper. And when you notice yourself feeling angry, take a second, write down what caused it, why it caused it, and how it made you feel. You'll start to see a pattern and you'll find it then easier to recognize your triggers by seeing a common theme. The second thing is practice relaxation techniques, meditate, mindfulness, take a walk, do things that actually help you feel calm and help you feel at peace. These can help you stay calm and just detach in the heat of the moment and give you that extra moment to respond rather than react. And the third thing is instead of letting your anger just simmer inside you, communicate effectively. When you start communicating calmly and assertively, it is an easier way to resolve conflict. And it's easier to maintain strong relationships when you have healthy communication. So remember, being angry is part of being human, but how you choose to respond, that can shape your life. That can change your relationships. Anger is a powerful emotion, but when you start to understand it and use the right strategies to keep it in check, you can start to transform it into a force for positive change where you can use it for personal growth. That's what I've got for you today. So thank you for joining me. If you enjoyed this episode, let me know what your biggest takeaway from it was in the comments below. I would genuinely want to make a positive impact on the world. I want to help people get out of the monotony that they're in and start living their dream lives, the lives they desire. And I sincerely hope you can help me do that by sharing this podcast with others. Remember, your mindset shapes your reality. Master it and you'll master your life. Thank you.